Welcome to the deep dive. So, if your world is high-stakes print, you know the ultimate goal, that often elusive goal, is getting perfect color,
Yes.
especially when you're trying to do it across continents, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that's our mission today. We're going to get into how a system like pressSIGN handles that complexity, because the whole industry has really shifted from a subjective art to an objective
Right, for
science.
just looking at it and saying, yeah, that looks good.
Exactly. For decades, everything was about solid ink density, or SID,
Mm.
but SID only tells you how much ink is on the paper.
Which is a problem because,
Because you could have two presses print patches with the exact same density and, visually, they'd look completely different.
okay, so that's the old way. The new way is colorimetric control, spectral data. For someone listening, what's the single biggest difference there?
It all boils down to delta E. I mean, we're measuring the full spectrum of reflected light to get these incredibly precise CIE lab values.
And that lets you calculate the actual mathematical distance between two colors.
Yes, the delta E. It's a score of how the color looks, not just how much ink is there. Critical for things like G7 calibration.
So how does this software fix what is essentially a physical hardware problem?
This is where it gets really clever. In the color bar generator, there's a function called randomize.
Randomize.
Yeah, it completely scrambles the order of the patches. So instead of a smooth gradient, you suddenly have a 10% yellow sitting right next to a 100% black.
You're forcing maximum contrast between every single patch.
You're forcing it. You're giving the scanner a sharp, unmissable edge to track every single time. And then for the really big charts that span multiple sheets, and the system digitally stitches the data from page 1 and page 2 together.
Okay, so you've captured this perfect high-res data from the press.
And that brings us to the infrastructure side of things. Global print management, or GPM.
Which is like the central nervous system of the whole operation.
The central brain, exactly. It's a server that synchronizes everything. So if you update, say, Brand Blue 2024 in London,
It instantly pushes that new standard out to Shanghai, New York, everywhere.
instantly, and all the different clients tap into that. You've got pressSIGN Pro, which is what the operator on the floor uses for scanning.
And then for the managers looking at the bigger picture.
That's pressSIGN Trends. It's the analytical engine, letting managers see historical performance or compare presses.
And I see there's press on in digital too.
Yeah, that's more for strict verification against standards like ISO 126477, mostly for digital presses.
What I find really interesting is how it handles instability. The paper white you get today might be different from tomorrow. How does it stop your scores from crashing?
That's a feature called dynamic density adjustment, or DDA. The best way to think of it is, if your ingredients change, DDA adjusts the recipe.
Okay.
So if the paper white shifts, DDA automatically recalculates the target ink density needed to get the lowest possible delta E with the materials you actually have. It separates the score from things you can't control.
That's incredibly flexible. And the automation goes even further, right? Once you measure a G7 chart, it doesn't just score it.
And immediately calculates the precise curve adjustments needed. It'll literally say, cyan 50% needs to be Miniga 3%. It's immediate optimization.
So it's not just telling you you're wrong, it's telling you exactly how to get it right.
Exactly. It saves hours of manual tweaking on every single press setup.
So to wrap this up, pressCJ is really this critical link. It connects the physical print room to the digital studio, moving that spectral data and automating compliance across the globe.
It is, and that data aggregation leads to a final sort of provocative thought for you.
Okay.
All this knowledge from these measurements, if the trends client shows a press's sheet consistency score is slowly degrading over a few weeks, that's not just a sign a bad job is coming. That can actually signal mechanical wear, like your rollers are deteriorating, before it causes a catastrophic failure. The data is predicting your press's failure before it even knows it's sick.